Apologize for the hiccup internet glitch. It's really poor lately. It's only for chop pins for some reason, but we're back. Striker's still running second. McRae still leading. Coulter takes over third from John Ross, but John's still hounding the number 3 there. We see him again dive to the apron. Miller and Dane here. Everybody pretty much spread out for the most part. Bigger. Robert's bigger, not taking tires last time. Not even pitting. Looks like he did a good job protecting his tires. There's Culver running in 11th, just outside the top 10. Dakuna ahead of him. Caffrey, Hammond, Kolbenitz, Malcolm, Payne. No tires for Payne. Isaac, Burt. Good bounce back. Got the wave around. That last caution. Dario, Rayburn, and Richkin. These guys who didn't pit, Dario, Balsamo, Bigger, they're going to need a hit earlier than the rest of the field. Might be hoping for a caution to come out, but the field spread out so much, I don't think it's going to happen unless something crazy happens. There's Malcolm on the outside of Payne. Payne trying to take that spot. Fighting it out here. Payne trying to rally around Malcolm, having a hard time with those tires. Caffrey coming down pit road. One of the guys who stayed out having a pit here. Hammond following suit. Pitting very early, I believe. Still got a good ways to go, over 50 laps. 60, a little over 60, 61 laps to go. It's a long ways on some tires. McRae really taking command here. Striker, Ross, York. All these guys single file. Coulter fell off from third. He's back here with his teammate Donnie. Looks like he used up his tires as well. Donnie going around Coulter Jr. Roberts, Jerry, Bigger. Trio right here, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Biggers in 10th. Take 9th back from Culver. But with no tires, I'm not sure. Dakuna. Kolbenitz, Burke back here with Payne. Malcolm and Isaac side by side. I gotta say he's got damage on the right front. It might be just the paint, the way the paint scheme is. It looks a little weird to me. Payne and Malcolm and Isaac back here. Rayburn, everybody spread out for the most part. Caffrey back on track with Hammond right behind him. King lap down, running some laps. Salas and Perry. Salas second to last. Perry last in 24th place. Ball in the inning. Still not sure what happened to Stefan. I can't check now with the same dropping connection. This guy's doing a heck of a job here. Rayburn watching the battle with Payne and Burke just ahead of him. Rayburn taking a look. Here's where the rhythm comes to play with these long runs. This is going to be the longest run of the day without the stage breaks. You got to get your rhythm going. Just turn some laps now. Don't use your equipment up too much. There goes Mark Richkin coming down pit lane now. Still has a little bit of damage there in the right front, but it's not hurting him too bad, it looks like. Definitely got to get a rhythm going here. Looks like Striker's catching McRae. See the battle. Not that one. That one. Here we go. McRae just 2 tenths. That's between Ross and Stryker. Stryker just very quick. McRae might have used up his equipment a little too early, pushing hard. We saw that just before it cut off on us. Stryker half a tenth quicker, just chipping away at the lead there. Ross closing in on Stryker in turn. Slower one lap, but quicker the last 4 laps. Miller catching Ross. Everybody's catching everybody. We might be close. Day slowly catching Miller. There's Day and Williams. Apologize, David Miller and Donnie Williams have it waiting on him. There's Mark just coming off pit road. Mark should have fresher tires. Let's see if he can take them. I think stick with Mark long enough to see. The tracker is all but caught McRae now. Shaping up to see a battle for the lead here for the 88. Not much chatter happening here. Got Kings coming in. Here, driving chatter. Those few that didn't pit last time. Some different strategy maybe, I'm not sure, but they're going to have to come in pretty soon now. Stryker's still quicker. Still pretty fast there. There's a little bit of evasive there. Shoots up the track. Above, it's going to look to be above the one. See the clothing speed, not quite there yet. McRae's going to slide up ahead of him. Stryker does low. See if he can get the car to rotate here. Real tight. Middle of the corner, almost door touching. McRae's not letting him have it. He's going to have to fight for it. You know Stryker's quicker, but McRae's really pinning him there on the track. And it's letting Ross catch both of them. Ross was catching Stryker just a little bit. Right, maybe. Real tight off that corner. That's a swerve off. Stryker checks up a little bit. I thought he was gonna bump the one. And it's let their place catch up. That's John Ross. Toyota Chevy Ford. Ross taking a look. Back on the apron. Miller also catching up. It's gonna be a good battle for the lead here. These guys still have to pit though. One more stop for everybody. Miller closing in. McRae still in command, side by side for second. That's what he wants to see in his mirror. Looks like Ross is going to clear Stryker. Stryker might have given it to him just so they don't lose the leader. Ross takes over second place. There's Miller in the picture now, top 4. Under the blanket. Day just a little bit off. Wanted to see him battle just a little bit more. See if he has enough to close in. Andrew Payne coming in now. Very tight. Did he hit the cone? I think he hit the cone. Oh. No, look at that. Just missed it. You hit that cone. That's a I think it's a stop and go. Might be a drive through. Payne coming in. Still on replay. There we go. SDK being weird. McRae taking command. Ross, Stryker, Miller. Looks like Day's closing in also. No, looks like Day's falling off according to the timing here. Falling off from Miller. There's King. Isaac coming in. Cameron Dario coming in. These guys who didn't pit last time, they're all coming in now. Biggert still needs to come in, I believe. There's the gap there. Stryker had a big charge for McRae. Now he's falling off of Ross a bit here. Might be in danger of falling behind Miller. Ross hard charging there now. McRae's got a new contender. See if he can hold him off like he did to 88. Ross faster than McRae. And we got Alonzo King trying to get a lap back here. It's a couple laps down now. Mark Retchkin coming back down pit road. Might have smacked the wall. Looks like he has a little bit more damage, or it just looks different to me. Coming down. Ross all over Miller. Oh, I'm sorry, Ross all over McRae. I was looking at Miller's timing here on the scoring. Looks like his car's rotating a little bit better. As with Stryker, the Stryker couldn't get around McRae. This Stryker looks like he got around King. McRae really making his car wide. That Toyota very tough to pass. Stryker still in distance. Malcolm coming down pit road. Miller looks like he's right up against Stryker. Trying to get that third spot from him. And King got around the 2 leaders. My mistake. I thought it was King behind Stryker, but it's Miller here as it come down the backstretch. Just a couple pairs here for first and third. So it looks like McRae's starting to pull a little bit. He is just ever so slightly on Ross. Ross really pushing hard there, catching up on the one, and might have cooked the tire a little bit. Let's see what they do coming around. He gains there, coming off turn 2. Malcolm staying low out of the leader's way. Let's see what they get here. Ross quicker that time. We see all that close up. Jerry Culver coming down pit road now. Couple laps to go. Handful of laps here. Caffrey right behind Biggert, who's behind John. John Ross coming down now. Money stops right here in the green. Gotta be careful with that transition. Jerry spending some time on pit road. There he goes. Felt a little longer than normal. I want to see. There's rights, lefts. Oh, he missed his box. He slid his box on the last pit stop. That's going to cost him dearly. Positions on the racetrack. Slid his box. Going to have to back up. And it's a pretty quick backup. It's not that bad, but those are seconds that they could have jacked up the car, been running around the car already, jacking up the left side. That's time lost on pit road. Unfortunately, Jerry's going to definitely lose some spots on there. Lots of takers now. Stryker, Miller, Day, Donnie, Kublitz, Coulter Jr., Rayburn way in the back. Oh, no, I thought it was coming in. There's Rayburn leaving pit road. All the leaders pitting now. This is the final stop of the day. Don't slide through a box. Don't speed. It can cost you a race. See who gets the race off pit road. McRae. There goes Day. Stryker's going to win it. Looks like McRae right behind him. And Ross had just pitted a lap prior. He might inherit the lead here. A couple guys. There's Biggert. Oh, that's McRae coming in. Who is behind Stryker? That car looked very similar. Let's find. Oh, it's David Miller who was right behind Stryker. Chris Roberge inherits the lead for now. It's McRae and Biggert. Biggert jacking up the left side. McRae coming off pit road. Roberge is going to have to take his stop here. There's John Ross coming off the front stretch into turn number 1. There's passing fourth, passes McRae, Caffrey, Hammond. Robert, she inherits the lead. These guys ahead of him are going to have to pit. Good stop, good strategy for Ross so far. We'll see how the tires hold up. Don't need to really push here. Just save the equipment. Those guys have to catch you. They're going to fight each other, so let them use their stuff up. Let them get to you, and then you can start to push. Gotta play it real smart here. We know Roberts and Hammond are going to have to pit one more time. I believe they do. I might be wrong. I show them 3 stops, or they pit it. No, Hammond pitted very early. I don't think Roberts did, but Hammond's definitely on some old tires right now. There's Ross, got around Caffrey pretty quick. Yeah, that's right. He pitted with Caffrey. So I believe he's good to go to the end. Very slow here with these old tires. Hammond taking the line away. Ross should have a good corner here. Gets underneath the 75. It's going to have a clear. There's Roberts coming down pit road. That's going to let Ross take over the lead. McRae, the next contender, is a good chunk of a change behind John Ross in the 44. Ross just needs to play it smart. Don't burn your stuff up. You don't have to full send every corner. Those guys need to catch you. And that's something they need to be aware of. You don't need to win by 10 seconds, 15 seconds. You just need to win. You just need to be ahead by a split second. A win's a win, no matter how big the margin is. Protect your tires. That's the key right now. Protect your tires. You know, McRae's going to get around Caffrey and John. They've already passed Caffrey. Striker putting a lot of pressure on the number 1. These guys pitted relatively together. Ross just needs to play it smart right now. I don't expect Striker, knowing him, being a smart driver, he's not going to really fight McRae. He's going to stay behind him, work together to catch John Ross in first place right now. He's just right there. Ross has a little bit older tires. We'll see if it comes into play. Striker's going to hang out with McRae to stick with him. See if they catch him, and then the fight's on. David Miller back here. Lost touch with Striker for a bit, but he started closing in just before pit stops. See if he's just protecting some tire wear here. Lost strategy. Hammond sitting in 5th right now. Caffrey right behind him. Day, Payne, these guys have pitted already. Burt fighting with Biggert. Biggert pressure tires there should get around him easily. He does. Culver not doing too bad. Still just outside the top 10 and 11. Should have been a couple spots ahead, but with fresh tires, you might be able to clear these guys here. Culver running the top 10 all day. What a phenomenal day here, Chicagoland. Doing a great job here. Ross here ahead of McRae. About a second over these guys. 2nd and a 10th. Day gets around Hammond and Caffrey. Jerry Culver making his way around Burt. Cracks the top 10 here. He's got his sights stand on Biggert. Should get around Payne. Biggert might be a fight though, as he's got fresh tires as well. His last start to Windle. Taking a look at Payne. Payne with some older tires here on Biggert. I think Andrew Payne took right sides only the last time by is what it was. Falling back here on Biggert. Culver up next here. On pose for a great run today. Thank you again, everybody, for watching Chop Shop. I appreciate the hiccups in the middle of the woods. They can't fix the internet. I've basically met all the technicians here. It is what it is, but should be better once I head back home to the great state of Texas. The greatest country in the union. Should have some better quality streams here, so we'll tough it out. But I appreciate everybody sticking with me, watching the stream. Everybody who's going to watch the stream, you guys are awesome. Supporting Chop Chop. Salty here, Rayburn, Roberts. These guys pretty much spread out. Devin, Malcolm, we just saw. There's Devin. Isaac Balsamo running 20th. Mark, lap down. King. This last car in the track here, lap down in 22nd. Salas and Perry last two, respectively. Ross all but caught up here. See if they're going to start to push now. McRae looking inside. Striker, again, we mentioned playing it smart, not fighting McRae, just hanging out with him. Knowing they got faster cars, a little bit fresher tires. We see him get right up against McRae. Gets a little bit of a push there. That air pocket will send you forward. They both clear the 44. And now the fight's on, just like we said. Striker immediately underneath McRae. There's Balsamo ahead of him. See if this corner's going to be real tight for the 88. Very shallow entry. Striker having to check up a bit. Loses a little bit of a gap there. Has a good corner here, though. Culver getting around Biggert, or fighting Nathan Biggert. Trying to get to 8th. John and Michael's got to be careful. A little tap. Almost a little tap there on John Hammond. Very slow. These guys, Caffrey and John, both pitted good few laps ago. Coulter, I thought he was going to get into John. He's going to get all three of these cars. Jerry for a great finish here. 6th place. Oh, John, a little blink there. Doing okay. Little stutter there. Nothing too crazy. So impressed with Jerry. His luck is definitely turned around right now. Very smart drive. A lot of the problems here is just accident avoidance, or just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Just doing an amazing job here. They both get around the Ford and the Chevy of Caffrey and John there. Biggert and Culver following suit. Miller way on the other side of the track, though. Still a battle up here. Ross behind Striker. McRae still leading. Striker hanging out behind him. Go up the track back here. There's the leaders going into one. Day a little bit behind. Culver back there crossing the stripe now with Biggert. It's the lap traffic here. Couple 3 cars ahead of the leaders. There's King. He gets out of the way, drops the apron. Lots of etiquette there. Gives the whole racing service to 1st and 2nd. 88 taking a look outside. Maybe a little wash up there. Ross still hanging out with him, though. King coming down pit road. Ross might just be biding his time. Toyotas lead. A Chevy and a Ford. Only a few Toyotas, 4 Toyotas in the entire field, and they're basically spread out 1st, 7th, 18th, and 23rd. And that's Salas, the last Toyota in the field off the racing surface. McRae showing that Toyota's no joke here, very fast. Still a battle here for 6. Biggert shooting outside of Culver. Was about to close the door, but Biggert shoving his nose there. With 19 to go. Culver not giving Biggert any slack. Good battle here for 6th. Looks like Biggert's going to clear him. He does. Riding behind Jerry there, just waiting for his opportunity to strike. Picks over 6th. Jerry falls to 7th. Still a top 3 here. Spread out pretty equally, about car length and a half. I want to see what Ross has got for the Chevy and Toyota, though. It looks like he's just hanging out right now. So they're approaching the lap car of Devin DeCuna. Miller still a little bit behind the leader, second back from first place. A little under a second for second and third. Sees them in line here. If they start to fighting, it's going to bring him back into the picture. Little wiggle there as we jumped off his cockpit. Oh, Ross taking a look. He's trying to use Devin as a pit. Striker's going to take him in the middle. That was going to be a good effort there. I see what Ross was trying to do. He's trying to pin Striker up behind the 45. I'm sorry, the 43 of Devin DeCuna. Something I've done before, and I'm not opposed to doing. You use the other cars as a pit. You get that guy you're trying to pass stuck behind him. He's got nowhere to go. But I've had a car muscle me down the track also for doing that, so it works both ways. Ross looks like he's on the move now, on the attack. He's ready to go. They're going to fight here. He's going to lose some ground to the one. Let's see how hard Striker fights him with 15 to go. Very tight here. Striker much deeper in the corner. He might have to wash up a bit, though. We see him rotating here. There's Miller. Ross does here. If he can get the 88 pretty quick, looks like he's going to clear him here. Striker might fight back on the outside. No, he doesn't. He drops in line. He's going to have a better run here. 44 clears the 88. See if he can start closing in on James McRae, who's just right there. See what these guys do now with the Ford taking over second. Chevy back to third. Toyota still leading the field. 13-12 to go. You're running out of time. Nope, 13 to go. It ticked over. Pickett here. Culver right behind him. Culvinitz fighting with Andrew Payne. There's Donnie Williams. Payne with right side tires only, trying to salvage the day. Still in top 10 right now. Coulter here in the 11th. Caffrey, Roberge, Burke, Rayburn, Hammond, Dario to the back. DeCuna, Balsano, Hayden Malcolm, last car in the lead lap. McRae still leading. 12 to go, coming around to 11 to go. Looks like these guys are pulling away from the 88. I don't know if Striker's falling back or he's trying to gather the tire wear back up. Maybe he used it a little bit too much trying to get around McRae. And we saw that earlier. Striker trying to get past the one and just couldn't quite make it. And then he fell behind, I believe it was Ross there before the pit stop, the shuffle up. Couple more lap cars come in the forms of Mark Retchkin. There he is, and Alonzo King just ahead of him. No, not Alonzo King. He's off the track. It's Cameron Dario ahead of Mark. There he is. Mark gives way up the track for first and second. Ross looks like he had a way better corner there. Striker now following back here to the clutches of David Miller. We're pretty much back to where we were before the pit stops. Two packs, or two car tandems here for first and third. See if Ross can get by McRae. He's quicker. these last few laps. He's slowly chipping at that lead that McRae has. This is a pretty quick chunk there, a 10th off that last time by. David Miller getting around Stryker. Day, Biggert, Culver. Everybody else pretty much single file. Looks like there's a little bit of a battle here. Rayburn taking a look at Burke. Caffrey just ahead of him. Caffrey on some really old tires right now. Ross closing in on McRae. Looks like Ross just doing a good job letting these guys by, not even finding them, just hanging out, letting them use their tires, and that's what we mentioned earlier. Just manage your tire set. Ross is doing a great job managing his equipment right now, and he's challenging for the lead. McRae quicker a lap ago, but Ross quicker this time, this last by. There goes Ross taking a look on the inside. Side by side with McRae. Real deep there in the corner, has to check up. Miller watching the battle unfold, might bring him back into the picture with 5 to go though. McRae, we know, a hard car to pass. He very good at keeping you at bay without making contact, mind you. Just car placement is unbelievable. It's almost like magic watching the car placement, making you work for it, making you take lines you don't want to, making you take shallow entries, costing you speed, costing you to lift. See if Ross might give him a little tap or two. See how aggressive he is with 4 laps to go here. McRae quicker that last time by. Ross having to check up. We saw him there after making that attempt. Starting to close back up here though. We see it down the backstretch. Two tenths separating these cars. Ross chipping a bit there, losing some ground there in corner entry, but he checks up early. He's going to get it back here down the backstretch. The closing speed. We got a lap car there as well. I think that's Dacuna. No, that's not Dacuna. Let's see who's just ahead of. Looks like it's Cameron. And just ahead of the leaders with 3 to go. It's going to be close. Let's see how aggressive McRae's here. Doesn't look like Ross is going to have time now as he really loses a gap here. Cameron in between the leaders now. We'll see if he lets Ross by. It doesn't look like he's going to let him. That's going to cost Ross a lot of time. And that's probably going to be it there. Cameron stuck between the leaders, and that's unfortunate. We had a good battle going. Cameron just not getting in between the leaders. Maybe, Cam gets into John. We saw him in the mirror. And it's going to be McRae's race. Taking the win here at Chicagoland. Ross, Miller, Stryker, Day, top 5. I think Ross might have had shot at him there with a couple laps. He was shaping it up pretty good. Might have sent a dive bomb or muscled him out of the way, but Cameron not, I don't know, just getting in the way of the leaders, really. I'd like to have seen him just move down the track. There's really no reason to get in between them like that, but it is what it is. A little disappointed. I think we had a good finish robbed from us, but it's how it goes sometimes. You don't have to get out of the way. It's just courtesy. But McRae will take the win, burn it down here at Chicagoland. Get these guys here. Here we go. Trying to find them on the Discord. Here we go. David Miller here, our third place finisher. Excellent job. What a great race. Green flags most of the run here. David, how was the track shaping out for you? Chicagoland, one of those tricky tracks. The corners are kind of misleading. 1 and 2, a little bit wider than 3 and 4, but a lot of trail braking. At least when I run or I've seen people run, definitely got to take care of the right front tire. Did you have a game plan coming in? Relatively new to Chop Shop. How did it work out for you? Awesome. Just a fantastic race. Very clean car. Nice colors. The Team Watson racing setup paint scheme. There's one of your sponsors from what we're seeing. But definitely glad to have you Chop Shop racing these guys. Some of these guys know pushovers, like Andrew Painter, Stryker, being very patient there, slowly catching up. As you mentioned, very patient on the racetrack is a big key for drivers to, or something very hard for drivers to learn, right? But next week is Daytona. Plate racing, not my forte. I just don't like it. How do you think you would fare at a plate track? You're at the mercy of some cars, but a little luck there as well. Awesome, David. It was a pleasure watching you race on the track. Very courteous, and I'm glad to have you here with us at Chop Shop. Give us some shout out to you. I want to thank for being here.
Race here, and I look forward to it. I want to give a shout out to my team here, Dark Tempest, Team Watson Racing. Setups 13 folds. They're all with me, and I'm excited to see what next week brings.
Awesome. Thank you, David. Third place finisher here. We'll see you next week at Daytona.
All right. Thank you.
David Miller doing a great job. You see him battle with Stryker there before the pit stops, and it kind of just ended up the same way after the pit stop. Stryker, it looks like he just used up some tire. John Ross, these conversations might get a little interesting depending on I know I'd be a little upset, but I'm just an upset driver. Most of the time, but we'll see. We'll get John Ross's point of view. Great looking forward. Love the skull colors. John Ross, how you doing right now?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was a good run. We knew if we were trying to play a little bit of strategy. We had the 30 lap and then we had the 65 lap caution. So we said, well, if we pit and we get fresh tires there, we'll just have to split it into two 40 plus lap runs. And I tried to short pit a little bit to get in front of James, and I did. But I think I just saved a little bit of too much tire, and I didn't push hard enough at that final run. But it was a good run nonetheless.
You a big believer of the apron. I don't like to use it myself on tracks like this or Michigan. I might touch it here and there, but I'm too skeptical with the transition. And we saw some cars got loose. Explain the apron there. We saw you use it more than anybody, really, almost like that was the racing line. But kind of a little sketchy or it looked like very comfortable on the apron.
Yeah, I kind of think it's how you hit the apron, but certainly the sketchiest part of it is coming back onto the track. So, if you get right against the yellow line about the start finish line, and then you start to drift back up, it's just making sure that you have plenty of room. If you're beside of somebody, they give you enough room. Yeah, for me, I felt more comfortable, especially when I wanted to get a big run coming out of 4. If I was up top coming out of 4 and I knew I had some momentum, then I would try to run down and cut the apron like that. So yeah, it was kind of my normal line throughout the night.
Definitely a sight to see there, and made it work throughout the race here. Towards the end there, you running first, get the jump on these guys. They catch up to you, but you're still lingering around. Get by Stryker, still lingering around first there. It looks like you're closing him. McRae, very hard to pass, we've noticed today. But the lap car in between you guys, it was shaping up to be maybe a side-by-side finish, but do you think you might have had something if the number 4 wasn't there?
Well, so it wasn't the 4, it was me. I kind of screwed up. So when we were going into 1, I saw the 4 go up high, and so I was trying to set James up, and when I went into 1, I would go about a lane higher than James. And I knew he was trying to stay down at the bottom because I had really good runs coming out of 2. So obviously he was trying to block me there. And I was getting good solid runs coming out. So when we went in there and the 4 was up high, I thought, hey, I'll catch his draft. And it'll help me slingshot and try to get beside of James. But it worked to the opposite. I got a little bit of an arrow push, and that was kind of it. I thought, I knew they were coming up. I didn't give them a whole lot of fight when they come by. I was trying to save a little bit of tire, and I think we did, and I think we got close to him there. But James was just too tough. He held his line. He drove a heck of a race, and he just beat me.
Awesome, great insights there to really help us understand what went on the racetrack, as we can kind of analyze where cars lay, but to get driver's perspective is the big key. And I appreciate you sharing with us. Next week is Daytona. We mentioned with David Miller, it's a bit of a gamble sometimes where you're at, just getting lucky, and a little bit of I call it high-speed chess, as where your car placement's at. How do you fare at Daytona, you think?
So I enjoy them. When I first started iRacing, I really did not like Daytona, Talladega, those bigger tracks, and now I enjoy them. I enjoy the big runs. I enjoy pushing, especially in these cars. These cars are really fun to push with. And to get pushed. So I think it's going to be a blast. I mean, I've played it both ways. I've fallen back to the back of the pack, and then I've tried to qualify up front and stay up front. I can tell you, if the wreck wants to find you, it's going to find you. So you're better off just going and having a good time and with your friends, and just staying up front if you can, and just driving as hard as you can.
I'll tell you, that's about my mindset now. For the longest time running these tracks, I'm not a plate race fan. Atlanta is ruined for me, but it is what it is. But yeah, I've gotten to that realization where I'm just gonna run and race. I've been wrecked in the back. I've been wrecked by myself. You know what I mean? So we're on the same page there. I gotta agree. But I'm glad to see. I mentioned it throughout the race. Big Ford fan myself as well, so I'm glad to see a Ford place in the top 3 at least. Give us some shout outs who you want to thank for being here.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I know that you and I run together on Tuesday nights, man. You do a fantastic job. We certainly appreciate that. James was in our chat tonight. Fantastic guy, deserves the win. Great run by him, and I want to thank all my Wildman race team, and that's Leroy and Roman. He doesn't run, but he certainly helps me out with strategy and things like that. And Craig and Daniel and Roscoe, all those guys that run on Tuesday nights really help me out. We spend a lot of time, practicing. So want to thank those guys too. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to Daytona.
Awesome. We'll see you there. Thank you for the kind words and for being with Chop Shop. We appreciate you as well, and we'll see you next week.
Sure. Thank you.
John Ross, second place finisher. I don't know how you cannot like the Ford. I think it's the most meanest looking car on the racetrack, especially if you get a great color scheme to fit. I dig the flat black in the front. I got a thing for flat black or matte black, however you want to say it. I got a thing for that right now. It's the best car on the track, and you can't convince me otherwise. But it's all good. James McRae, the winner here, just doing a masterful job with a car placement there towards the end. But James, walk us through the race here. Lots of not that much cautions. I think we had one mid-stage too, but how did it fare for you?
Yeah, no cautions. That really played into my quote-unquote strategy, if you want to call it. usually call it a coin flip, but yeah, that worked for me. Taking tires each time. I really wanted just the points run, so taking tires in those stages to try and get stage points or whatever. But hey, I'll take a win. That means I don't really care about points anymore.
You're pretty much locked in, right? Get to go for the playoffs, can go for stage wins and playoff points. I don't think you qualified. You started, I believe, 17th. You're one of 4 Toyotas in the field, and that's saying something. The Toyotas finished pretty much spread out. You on top. They're really showing the other manufacturers. Chevy always dominant in every official races, hosted races. Everybody runs a Chevy. Ford's not so much. Toyotas have been pretty popular, but I guess not here. And I kind of dig it. It's kind of like an underdog kind of thing. But you had a plan. You said taking tires every stage there was pretty much your go-to.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really mean to, start in the back. I wanted to qualify, but I just didn't get everything set up in time. I just got another VR headset. Thank you, Adam Pettit, for sending me yours. So yeah, I used to race VR for the past 3 years that I've been doing iRacing until a month and a half. And tonight, yeah, I finally feel back in my element, back to being able to judge speed and distance and all that. Finally got the feel for it again. These past month and a half, 2 months on the monitors have just been something else. I'm thinking I'm back,
It's
as John Wick would say.
it's a godsend. I'm a big VR believer also, in the depth perception. Monitor will not replace it. If my headset goes out, I'm not racing. I would wreck everybody trying to race on monitor. So I get how you feel.
I feel like I've been wrecking or in wrecks for these past 2 months. It's been pretty rough.
You gotta, if you ever get the chance, set up the driver's cam so we can see it. I definitely want to show everybody the VR point of view. I know it's just you with the headset, but maybe we can work something out to show your screen or something like that to really show head movement and stuff you can do in VR. It's fascinating to watch, to show everybody. Maybe we can speak about it later, but talk to me about the end of the race. Your sole striker gave you a shot. Ross gave you a shot. And you didn't really do anything crazy. Like a lot of guys will pinch. I've done it myself. I'll pinch the guy on the wall or behind cars or on the apron. You just ran your line. You're so hard to pass. Your car placement, it's phenomenal. What are you thinking in those moments?
It all goes. I'm kind of, I guess, in a sense, blessed that I started with the end of the Gen 6 or whatnot when everything's all about aero. So that's kind of the style of racing that I've learned and what fits for me. do well, I guess, in is just being able to perfectly place, just to kind of manipulate air if I can, or I felt like a pinch, well, maybe not super pinch, maybe it didn't, but a little bit on some of the kind of mid turn. When people getting right back on the gas, it kind of makes them second think it, and stuff, because you're right there. Not really too much pinch on exit, but pinch mid. If that makes sense.
Yep, it's all about that apex there. If you can get him to check up, we're either gonna door slam or you're gonna have to check up. But one of the two is gonna happen. So, not really pinching, just like you said, car placement. You're putting your car in a position where they have to make the choice. It's good racing, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I said, with the Gen 6 or whatnot, and man, yeah, I'm just happy to get a win. I did not expect it at all. But yeah, so yeah, I'm a little giddy.
It's all good. So, very elated, it sounds, and sometimes those are the best ones where you're just trying to get a race in, get some points, and everything falls your way. You're just one of those days. And today, lots of skill shown and a little bit of luck maybe. But next week, where luck is a big factor, is Daytona. Not a fan of plate tracks. What do you think?
It's love hate. I love to do them, but I hate wrecking at them. I'm sure everybody does, but I think it should be pretty good. If I remember, Talladega, this league and the trucks was pretty good a couple weeks ago. So I think these guys have a good plate track sense, so we should be able to get some good racing. Hopefully some 3 wides for a little while or something. We'll have to see what happens.
Awesome. It's going to be spectacular. Definitely Daytona wide enough for 3 wide, so we'll see how it goes. Appreciate you again for being with Chop Shop Racing with us. You've been with us for a while, and we want to thank you so much from admins and owners. Give us some shout outs. Who do you want to thank for being here for this win?
Yeah, you guys, first off, you, Joe, for, putting this on, and, John, Mike, all the other admins. If I'm not sure who else are admins there, but I know John and Mike are, for, putting this together. Adam for this VR headset to put me back in my game. And
game changer.
Mom, game changer for sure. My mom out there watching, and John Ross there for chatting with me all race and putting on a good battle. At Strickland too, at Cam at one point was fighting with a few people there. We had some good racing going on.
Awesome. James, thank you again for the kind words. We'll see you next week at Daytona. I hope you have a great night.
Thank you. You too, man.
James McRae, your winner here. The number 1 Toyota Camry. It's got Demon Slayer on the car. It's anime there. I've not seen it, but I'm sure a lot of people here have. He's going to take it off here, and we're going to close out. There's McRae and Miller right next to him. Actually, that's David Miller in the 14. McRae taking it. We'll run down that's not the result there. The results here for the My Three Sons Chop Shop Next Gen Series. Sherry, I got to thank her, first of all, for sponsoring the Next Gen Series, helping Chop Shop put on the show, easing the financial burden for the owners, and definitely supporting the racing. Big fan of Striker. Almost had one there, just a little shy of a top 3. But great racing overall. McRae's going to take it. John Ross in second. David Miller takes third. Michael Strickland takes 4th. Jason Day 5th. Bigger 6th. Not too bad there for staying out, having to pit. Very off cycle there. Worked out for him. Not quite for the other guys. Maybe not quite so on the same page as we thought. Culver was, I think, the best finish so far in the Next Gen Series, as far as I can remember. Just absolute top 10 all day. Stage points, 10, 9. Stage 1 and 2. Finishes in 7th. Just doing a great job there. Finishing, getting a solid top 10. Great day for Jerry Culver. Leroy Colbinetz, Donnie Williams there in 9th. Also, Donnie just one of those guys who has terrible luck also in pretty much every wreck there. Good job with Donnie Payne managing, salvaging a top 10 there after taking some right sides only. I'm pretty sure he only took right sides. Robert Coulter Jr., Rayburn, Burke, just doing pretty good there for a bit. Unfortunate. I think that wreck really hurt his car. He'd hit the wall a ton there with the front end. Back end took some damage. Caffrey having to pit very early after staying out. Didn't work out for him. Dario as well. Hammond, some cycle issues there. It looks like Devin DeCuna in 18th. I think, as always, one of the cleanest cars out there. Balsamo there in 19th. Malcolm. Retchkin, King off the track there. Salas off the track. Didn't get a chance to see what happened to him. And Ed Perry doing a money shift there on a restart, blowing the engine. Finishes out in 24th. That's going to be it for us here at the Chop Shop Series. Next Gen 4 racing on Sunday. Let me check where we're at. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to go to the schedule. So they did Michigan, Nashville. Are we off this week? Hold on. What's the 19th? Today's the 18th. Oh, wait. I think the schedule. Oh, yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, the 20th. I keep thinking tomorrow's Sunday. So this Sunday is Nashville Speedway. They did Michigan. I gotta record that one also. So we'll get Michigan in. Gen 4 this Sunday, same time, same channel at Nashville Super Speedway. That's gonna be a good race, I think. We'll see how it goes for those guys there. Dirt racing on Mondays. That's by Signature Esports. A lot of the Chop Shop guys or Chop Shop runs that. It's broadcasted by Signature Esports. Catch him over at Signature Esports on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch. I think he's back on Twitch. Let's see. We got GT3 Series Road Racing Wednesdays. Let me see where they're at this week. Oh, yeah. So they just ran, I believe it's Watkins Glen. They did. So Suzuka's this week for the GT3 Series. Lots of different racing disciplines. Just road racing here right before the playoffs. So we did implement NASCAR style rules with GT3 road racing. That's broadcasted by the Core Network. But check it out with the Chop Shop guys or join the Discord. I'll post the Discord in the link for everybody watching and everybody who's going to watch. We'll throw a Discord link up there. And let's see. So there's Road Racing Cups. Gen 4 Dirt Racing. That's about it here. Truck Series on Tuesday. How could I forget? Chop Shop runs trucks on Tuesday. Also by Signature Esports. And on Tuesday, we're going to Phoenix. That's the knockout round as we're in the playoffs, I believe. Or that's where the playoffs start. Oh, that's the All-Star. Hold on. I'm reading this wrong. Aldoro's next. We just ran Michigan. Unfortunately, I wrecked out pretty early. Aldoro's next here on the 22nd. So next week on Tuesday, we're running Trucks and Dirt. So lots of racing disciplines, lots of stuff going on for Chop Shop. If you'd like to join, let me throw it on there real fast. I'll put it on the outro. But don't miss a little bit of everything for everybody. Join us and have some fun. All the series are free. So you don't have to pay anything, just your iRacing sub in the car and the track if you need to. But lots of good racing here, as you can see. We'll catch you this Sunday next up for the Gen 4 Series at Asheville. That's it for Chop Shop TV. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We'll see you next time.